Hi, Peter Allen, Figure Transformations, and what I want to discuss today is, again, all in the hips, and to kind of even show you. So for years, I was always shifting to the right when I would squat, and everybody was telling me, and even I thought for years, was I need to strengthen this right glute. Never did it occur to me that my left glute was so tight that it's pushing me to my right. So the only way that I was ever going to kind of achieve this is by, again, kind of fixing my hips. I had suffered some knee injuries when I was younger, and most likely that's kind of what started it. Is I had an injury to my left knee, and then to my right, and my back. But regardless, you know, I was in my 20s, and I know better, so I'd force myself to sit into my left side more. And it was because I knew I was going to the right. So if I don't pay attention when I squat, I shift right over to that right side. Now you would think, again, it would be meaning that it's weak or more flexible, one of the two. But again, what would happen is I started using more and more of the quadricep on the side because of what I was doing to compensate with my left tightness. Now the other thing I would do that I thought was kind of helping or saving it was lunges. So I'd always, again, kind of focus on this side, doing the lunges or one-legged exercises. I put more emphasis on my right side for years because it was so much easier with my left. But I didn't realize that, again, that the scar tissue was kind of forcing me to do this. The other part to that, so I ended up really tight all through my right core. A lot of times, you know, we don't realize, but I'd sit and I might kind of sink into this right side. I started realizing and trying to push, but you got to understand that once the scar tissue develops, it's really hard to break up. And we have way more scar tissue on the body than I could have even imagined. So part of this is just kind of document, and so you can see, I mean, my squat has improved tremendously in terms of me not. So when I hit that bottom part is when I shift now. And before it would be about 90 degrees that I would start to make that marker shift. And I realized again, my left, glute and also the quadricep were just so tight. And I could feel it happening, so I would try and stretch it and do all these things, realizing that it was having little to no effect. And that's when I started again getting into the percussion therapies. I finally have noticed, which is great, that I've loosened up my hips enough that now I can start to focus on my quadriceps, because again, our quadriceps become so tight. In my opinion, our bodies like systematically tighten over time and develop the scar tissue. Even if we're exercising, because I exercise, pretty much my entire life, and again, I knew I had these compensations, but I was making up for them. A lot of people don't even realize they kind of got these compensations, because again, a lot of clients, that I have would, squat, but they don't get to here, okay, and that's because they're hinging over, because they feel like they're going to fall over. And everything out there tells us, indicates, okay, weak glutes, but we don't realize how much scar tissue develops here that they can't sit into that squat. So I've already effectively have one client who could not get to 90 degrees and is now actually at 90 degrees, and she's sitting upright or more upright. I don't have her completely as yet in getting her into a bucket squat, but that's what I would always try to achieve with my clients, is getting them into this bucket squat before I would advance them to weights. Because again, I feel like you need to have good range of motion before you start adding in kind of more advanced movement patterns. Now I'm exploring kind of certain exercises, and I did a video, I'll do a leg workout today. I used to avoid two-legged exercises because of my imbalance, but I think, possibly I should have been targeting them more. And then, again, there's no way I could have done any of this without the percussion therapy. It's my flexibility, I feel like I'm in my 20s, even though I know my stuff is still not right, but it is so much closer, and I actually feel comfortable exercising now, where before I was worried I was going to, and I kept pushing myself further and further out of alignment. So if you're having trouble squatting or getting your deep range of motion, it's again, your glutes and your hips are just so tight that it's causing you, when you get down here, to feel like you just can't get any further. Now again, a lot of that is quad tightness too, but again, it systematically happens. It's the glutes, the quads, the adductors, the hamstrings. So if you follow some of the videos in terms of loosening up the hips, the more you kind of spend time loosening those hips, you'll all of a sudden start to notice that you'll have incredible range of motion. And then maybe also fixing some movement patterns that you're having trouble with. I'll make a leg workout video today and also kind of document my angles and where they're at. All right, thank you.